Good morning. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. I'm going to talk really loud. I have no idea if this mic is on. I think it is. It is so good to see everybody on a morning that isn't raining. People who love to see new things happening in their community. How many of you are here for the first time? Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. How many of you are entrepreneurs? And how many of you have more than one business that you run? Ah, very nice. It's so good to see all of you this morning. We have our organizers here. I'm going to name them off. I'm Deborah Bellotti. I have Philip Baird, Craig Jameson, Jennifer Simpson DeCamp, me, and Jonathan Putman. We're all here spending lots of time trying to make this go well, so we'll see how this works for us today. We also wanted to thank our community sponsors, Brick and Mortar, Database, the Springfield Art Museum, of course, and Spark. They have been helping us immensely, and I appreciate them very much. Also, as you can see right here, if you have not signed up or are not aware of how to get the updates, please pay attention right here. You can connect with us in any one of these ways. Get on our emailing list so that you'll get updates every week telling you who's going to present and what's coming up and what's new. All righty, and last but not least, our first person up here, they wrote this out for me in huge letters because I said, I'm going blind, and I forget my own name. So, it's Sean and Brad with the Reinvestor Group.
Good morning. Can y'all hear me? I can't tell if this thing's on or not either, but I think I'm supposed to push this button. Yes, thank you all for coming to the 1 Million Cups. We love this organization. My name is Brad Moncato.
And I'm Sean Schoonover.
And we run the real estate, or we founded the Real Estate Investor Group in Springfield here. There's our logo. Wow. Our mission statement is to assist real estate investors in gaining practical knowledge through education, resources, and networking opportunities in the Springfield and the surrounding area. And who are our members? They are full-time, part-time investors, beginning investors, real estate brokers and agents, business associates, attorneys, accountants, property managers, contractors, renovation specialists, appraisers, bankers, and like-minded people like you and I who want to enjoy the many benefits of real estate investing. I'm a full-time real estate investor. Sean is as well. So let's talk about our history a little bit.
So we started off 6 years ago. We went to a seminar, and they said, you got to join a RIA. And so we started looking, and we couldn't find one. We decided at that point to start our own. 6 years ago, we ran a Craigslist ad, and our first meeting was at Qdoba. We've grown ever since. About a year ago, we switched to a platform. We did it free for several years. We switched to a platform where we had a membership. But with that, we've been able to provide a lot more resources. We've been bringing in national speakers and to what it is today.
That's right. So over the past 5, as a networking group, we would meet once a month and just let anybody come that wanted to be a real estate investor. And when he said RIA, it's like a real estate investor organization. They have them all over the country. And since we couldn't find one, we started one. As you can see, we've connected with hundreds of people throughout the years in Springfield. And like Sean mentioned, we initiated membership in 2015. Now, we did this for several reasons. First of all, people that came to a free networking group couldn't get all the education that they wanted to get by just meeting us every time and a few people that we had at the meeting all the time. They wanted more. They wanted national speakers. They wanted people to come in that could teach them all different aspects of the business. So we moved to the Tower Club for a while, as you see there, and we had speakers, national speakers come in and help us with that. Go ahead, Sean.
We also are part of a national RIA mastermind. We've got 15 groups throughout the country that we come together, and we pick some of the best speakers that are out there and try to put on the best events. Some of the events that we put on that we've kind of stolen ideas from that area would be stuff like Shark Bank, which Shark Bank is it's like Shark Tank, but it's a venue to where we'll have 5 cash buyers. We'll have people present deals, and the deals will happen right there on the floor, so people can kind of see the negotiation and how it all works.
Yeah, we're connected with top mentors. We partnered also with local and national speakers to do what we do. We speak from experience as well because, as we lead the organization, we are full-time real estate investors now. I run my own vacation rentals and investing business in Branson. Sean and Chad and Brian and his group.
Family Home Solutions, we have 300 plus rentals here in Springfield. We wholesale, buy, flip, the whole 9.
So here's our leadership team. We have Sean, Chad, he's out of town this week doing some speaking. You've got myself, and then our superstar, the one that really takes care of everything. She's in here somewhere, I see her now, Emerald Hendry. Yeah, she's fabulous. She does a great job with us. So we offer these membership types. People say, so what do you have? We have a singles membership. So if you are just single, want to be a real estate investor, want to learn, want to hang out with us, want to network. If you're a couple and want to do that the same way. And then we have all kinds of small and large business partners. Talk about the subgroups. This is the best part, I think.
Okay, the subgroups, it's something's going on almost every single week. The Experience Coffee is a venue where we have it's kind of a small mastermind group of people doing quite a bit of business in the area in the real estate field. The women in real estate, they meet at preferred title. Those girls just like to get together, have fun. I think they're going to do a CCW class. They've done a lot of different things, walkthroughs, construction, that kind of thing. The deals group started off as a beginners group. There's the deals room that we like to go to down in Tampa, and we basically kind of tried to form it after that to where people bring their deals. We do that twice a month, bring their deals in, and like I said, joint ventures and wholesales will happen right there on the floor. The landlord lunch is the 4th Thursday. It's at Pasta Express. Landlord lunch is a great place where we get together, talk about everything from leases, evictions, all the, vendors who not to use, all the things that we can do to help each other and share the wealth that we have with each other. Make it easy.
So if you're a real estate investor, we've created the perfect place for you to come and connect with others. Our permanent home and our permanent meeting, our main monthly meeting is on the 3rd Thursday every month. Networking starts at 5. The main meeting starts at 6 every time at the Hilton Garden Inn there at Glenstone and Republic Road down there south of town there by the Farmers Park. Here's all the businesses. There's a whole bunch, even since we created the slide, that are now part of us. And they love our business because we have a captive group of 100 people, 80 to 100 people every month that come to our different meetings on up to meet. So you recognize a lot of these folks in there. So here's a few things we got coming up just to give you an idea of what we bring in. This is Note School. You know a lot about this, Sean.
So if you've ever looked at buying notes, performing, non-performing, this is one of those things where you're able to buy real estate or the note there too without actually going and kicking tires, looking at houses, those kind of things. Somebody can run their business all from the computer. If this is something that interests you, he's part of Eddie Speed's group. So if anybody's familiar with notes, they're probably pretty familiar with him. But they're coming in to teach about that. It'll be on the main Thursday, and then we'll have the Saturday after. So come check it out.
Yeah, and then he mentioned Shark Bank. Shark Bank, this is probably the investor group's favorite meeting because what we do is we get live cash buyers in the room, and we allow people to present their opportunities, deals, to the sharks and buy them on the spot. And the reason people enjoy that so much is because if you're a real estate investor and you're trying to learn the business, you can watch and see the interaction right there of what you should or you shouldn't do or know and shouldn't, and that kind of thing right there. So it's like one of the best educational experiences we have, and that's coming up in May. Here's how you can connect with us. If you want to email us, it's admin@reinvestorgroup.com. The RE stands for real estate, of course, investor group. And then, of course, we've got Facebook Meetup, Twitter, and a few other things out there that we're on. So, okay. Questions? Thank you.
All right, guys. So just like last week, if you have questions, feedback, input, raise your hand. We're going to have 2 organizers walking up and down here, so we'll hand you a mic. Once you get the mic, stand up, please. And then we have an organizer, Deb, down here. She'll point at you when it's your turn to ask your question or provide your input. Now, I'm going to reiterate the importance of this, too, because this is a lot of the value that these guys get from being up here and presenting is the feedback they get from you guys. So please participate early and often. I guess I'm the only organizer with a mic. Oh, here we go. All right, Jen's coming over. Of course, both questions are on that side.
Okay, so I'm one of those people that just came to one when it was free. Tell us about the transition to a paid membership and more details about what that looks like now.
Yes, we have the singles, like if you're a single or a couple, to be a member per year, it's $199 for a single, $299 for a couple. We have a whole bunch of gifts that we give you to help you get started in real estate investing, like a 5 Fastest Ways kit to learn the business quick. And a bunch of just other essential pieces, but it also gives you access to all the subgroups, our main meeting, and you get a free website so you can promote your properties on it. We've totally expanded the value for our members, so they're getting way more than they pay for becoming a member with our group.
It's food as well.
Food. Get there early. Earlier than me. Yeah. And Sean and I shop at the same shirt place, if you can't figure that out. Well, they're fixing the mic there. I thought I'd turn my phone off. I guess I didn't. Who's been to our group in the past 6 years? Raise your hand high. Excellent. Thank you.
But actually answered half my question. I have two other young lady asked us good. The other question I had would be, as far as utilizing local people that network, there's a lot of people who have experience in some of the things you mentioned, like speaking engagements, things like that, strategic planning. What do you do as far as marketing and networking to try to utilize local people to help you push your business and therefore help them to push their business?
So for a lot of the local guys are business members. So kind of like you guys have the coffee out here. Before the meetings, we have it set up where we have vendors set up every single month, and the vendors give out raffle tickets. So when the people come and talk to them, it kind of forces people to go spend a little bit of time, some face time with each other. Plus, we kind of vet the people that we're allowing to be there, that they're reputable, that they're honest, integritable. If somebody's doing something that's unethical in our group, if they're preying on newbies to try to, invest with them, that's something, then we kick them out. But they get that one-on-one FaceTime. In the meeting every month, we also have a top 10 list, which is designed to be not only educational, but it's funny. Shauna Thompson did one with Matrix Accounting on the top 10 things you can't deduct. And, they were silly things, but it was informative as well, and it gets them in front. So we use a lot of local vendors.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks again for the presentation. Do you maintain any metrics to determine the level of success that your membership has attained over the period of time you've been offering the service?
That's a great question. We've been doing our membership platform for a year this month. I don't know that we have anything specific that we could gauge and say that, as far as computer analytics or anything like that. But what I can tell you is that the people who come the most and the people who educate themselves in the areas that they want to learn in walk up to us every month and say, this is the best thing in the world, because they're actually doing what they intended to do as being part of our group. And so if it comes to that, you can ask anybody who's been around us on a consistent basis, and they'll tell you that our membership in our group is it's priceless.
And I could give you, if you come to the meeting, I can point out success story after success story of people. A good story was Josh and Andrew, a couple young guys, you know who I'm talking about. Somebody had referred them to come talk to us, and we sat down with them at lunch, and they wanted to, they didn't know how to get started, didn't know what to think, and I said, well, first of all, you got to start coming to the meetings. But we had them their first, we actually financed their first deal for them. That's not typical, but we financed their first deal for them, got them into the business, and we've created quite a little animal. So all these little signs, the yellow signs around town that aren't ours, the other ones are Josh and Andrew's. And they're killing it. They're doing really well. And there's story after story after story of guys, people in this business that even if they've already been in the business, what this has done for them has really grown them. It gives us a place that we can surround ourselves with like-minded people. Just like Million Cups is great to be around other entrepreneurs, which is fantastic. This gives people a place to be around other real estate investors, ask questions, and at all different levels with the different groups. There's no dumb question. There's certain people that are going to be very intimidated in the big group, but yet they can come to the deals night, or they can pull one of us aside and say, hey, how do I do this? Or when we just had a workshop with Tony Young. Now you're going to have people that come and do some education, and they're not going to do anything. Well, this is just like anything else. If you don't apply any, knowledge does you no good if you don't apply it. So we try to put forth the knowledge for people to do things, but it's still on their own to get it. We try to encourage them. We talk about deals and successes every month just to try to motivate people, but people still have to get off their anatomy.
Is there any aspect of your business where investors can put money in and then have people who are out there looking for properties use that as the basis for buying the property, then manage the property, but basically have behind them an investor group that's putting the money in there for them to do it?
Not the group itself. Not because it tries to be impartial. A lot of people think that's what this is this is a way for we to hook in, buy you a stake, and you give us $50,000 that we invest for you. This is not that. There's a lot of people in the group that if you're looking for property, there's a lot of wholesalers. And a wholesaler is somebody that puts something under contract at a huge discount, leaves a lot of spread on there for the end buyer. There's a lot of wholesalers in the group. We as a business, we also do turnkey for people that are looking for turnkey products. So if that's what you're looking for, there's somebody in the group that I can line you up with. That's when you come say, hey, I'm looking for this, or I need that, or I need this kind of a contract, or I need this, or what. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to know somebody in the group to give it to you.
Good morning, Michael Hansen. Remember what you said about no stupid questions, please.
Yep.
I didn't say that, did I?
So do your individual members purchase houses and flip them, or do they purchase like a stock in homes or a set of homes? Like, can you invest with less money than it takes to buy a whole house? I don't.
Well, like Sean was saying before, we don't have really a group where we bundle our monies together and do that. We don't do that. But yes, there are plenty of ways to learn how to buy houses without getting using any of your own money. I've got many examples for myself of doing that. And in the vacation rental world where I am in Branson, if I can pick up something like that with no money out of my pocket, then that's even better because it's very lucrative. But there are plenty of ways, and I would challenge any of y'all to come and get educated, because a lot of people see the shows on TV and it looks really easy. I'll just tell you, it's not that easy, and it doesn't happen in 28 minutes. But if you learn how to do things, it can feel like it's easy for the money that you make from it. Did I answer the question?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, thank you for the presentation. Do you guys have a specific age group that you guys aim for concerning signing new members? And my second question is, what kind of products could you offer college students at all?
There's no age limit of any sort, of any kind. We have people, my daughter just graduated from college, she's in it, and I know there's college folks in our group, and there's people that, I don't know how the oldest one, I haven't polled that, but there's grandmas and grandpas in the group as well. So, and for college students, I can tell you a story of one college student I know that bought their first house while they were in college, flipped it, I believe, and made 10 grand on it. And I've heard multiple stories of people even in high school with the help of their parents who have bought houses and create some sort of creative financing arrangement to get it done, and have paid for their college by flipping houses while they're in high school.
Education.
And then, there's no age limit, either. I mean, anybody could do this. So that's the fun part about it. Did I answer that for you again?
We got one up here.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay.
Oh, hey, Ron.
Hi, guys.
Ron is one of our founding fathers. He was at our very first meeting 6 years ago. He answered the Craigslist ad.
Actually, my wife and I did. Yeah. This is the first time I've been to Million Cup, and Brad's asked me several times, and he shot me a text, and I finally decided I better show up since they were presenting our group today. But this is a neat experience. It's great to see everybody here, and I've seen 3 or 4 people that I know and a few people in the group. But what I wanted to do real quick is share with you, during the last 5+ years, I guess we're going on 6 now.
6, yeah.
We've just had some phenomenal training. And hi, Jeremy, how you doing, man? All right. We've had people like Ron LeGrand come in. We've had Tony Youngs come in, which was just a few days ago, and that was an awesome time. And people like that are Group Life in Air, if you've heard of that. There's just a lot of different things that they bring to the table. This notes thing, I'm looking so forward to that coming up. Been doing a lot of reading up on that and excited about that. So if you have any inclination to get involved with in real estate investing in Springfield, this is a place to get it.
Thanks, Ron. Yes, sir.
Hello, is that working? Randy Quast, I'm just starting out here and very impressed with you guys. I had a question. The seminars that are the groups, or I'm wondering, because I'm going to be joining in a couples membership, is there more cost, or is it just depends on the seminar or the meetings that we go to?
Great question. On the 3rd Thursday, we try to bring a speaker in to offer free training to any members. But if they stay and do like an external training, like a Saturday or Sunday or whatever, then there is a charge for that, because that's part of the arrangement that we've created with them. If they're going to educate us, then we're going to have to do something for them. So
the charge, though, is providing the overhead for the facility.
Yeah.
It's expensive to do these things. Also, a lot of the Saturday events will provide lunch as well. We're not doing it for the money.
No.
All right, guys, we have time for one more question, and then we're going to...
Since sounds like a lot of this is networking and people exchanging information, what protection is there to keep somebody from bringing a deal to a group and having somebody in the group steal their deal?
If the deal should be under contract. If you're bringing a deal to the group, it better be under contract. There's no guarantee on that. I have not heard it happening.
I haven't either. That's a good thought. I would say that if you bring a deal to the group and you don't have it under contract, it's probably going to get stolen. In fact, I might even encourage it because you want to make sure you're doing things the proper way. And I think that's the most important part of our group, is that we don't tolerate any sort of shenanigans. We've had to let people go from our group because there were things that weren't done right, and we want to make sure people are doing things exactly right. We have a reputation as business people to keep, and this is a labor of love, not of money for us. And we do this so we could make the group better, and that's exactly what we've done. So we've got to make sure that we're doing things correctly. But great question.
You guys, it's been fun to watch your rapid growth over the last couple of years. Also, it's really cool that you guys come to 1 Million Cups very regularly and have supported this organization, so thank you for that. You can probably guess the question I'm about to ask, but so what is it we can do as a community to help you guys?
Come. Experience what we are. And because we all know people that are real estate investors, or we all know people that need to make more on their money than they're making right now, and there's lots of different ways that you can do that. like what you see on TV.
And more.
Just come and check it out. Next Thursday is when we have Note School coming in. Come. And our subgroups that we have, go to our website, reinvestorgroup.com, and check out the dates. Some are here, some are there. Come and meet us and network with us. And if it's not for you, I totally understand that. It might be for somebody you know, though.
And tell somebody else it's not for somebody that's just an expert. It is for those people too, but it's also for those beginners that are looking for a place just to be around other like-minded people.
Yep. Oh, thanks, Emerald. If you bring the flyer that we handed out today, your first meeting will be free. So just bring that, and we'll take good care of y'all. Okay. Thanks, Emerald.
Thanks.
Let's give him a hand. Well, here's the big question for all of you today. Was parking a little bit better for you? You didn't have to park South Nixa today, so I hope it's a little bit better. Always exciting to see all of you. So glad you're here today. Of course, we have lots of things going on, have some upcoming announcements and events. E-Factory Social at Golden Girl Rum Club. April 14th, 5 o'clock. You can register at E-Factory. Here's what I recommend. You'll find this on all of the 1 Million Cup Springfield social media. But if you want this information, grab your camera out and just snap a picture as we slide through this if you need it quicker. Small Business and Technology Development Centers, they have big data coming up April 21st, $109. Starting a business in Missouri, April 28th. There's no charge, which is awesome. Register, you'll see the website below. Spin 66, Conference on Innovation and Entrepreneurship, April 29th at the E-Factory. Register at spin66.com. If you are wanting a way to get involved, can you see there's so many ways to get involved? Database. You don't know how to run your Mac. They're going to help you master that. Mastering iMovie, Thursday, April 21st, 9:30 to 4:30. Web design with Squarespace, Thursday, April 28th. Seating is limited, so if you have not registered and want to, go to databasespringfield.com. Lisa, where are you at? She's in the very back. See her hand back there in the back corner? Lisa and her husband, they presented here at 1 Million Cups. The owner, go track her down, and she will get you all the information you've ever wanted. Have you heard of these guys? Reinvestor Group, monthly meeting, April 21st, just to reiterate. And Note School, last week we didn't know what it was. This week we do. April 23rd, 9 to 5, register at Reinvestor Group. Remember, if it's not under contract, someone will take your deal. Springfield Creatives. Creatives Career Fair for students, it's free, April 16th. Studio Crawl starting at Brick City, April 20th, 6 o'clock. Register, springfieldcreatives.com. Sado, 48. You have 48 hours to make a 5-minute video. You can win big, become local famous, become national famous. All kinds of things going on. I won't read all of these. Just know that you can go to sado48.com and they will hook you up with all the information you've ever wanted. If you want to get into videography, now's the day. Get involved with Sado 48. It's local and they have hundreds of people that get involved here. Now for all of you, got a community announcement. Send your logo, contact information, announcements to SpringfieldMo at 1millioncups.com. We will make sure that we get you listed. We have a brand new blog, The Refill Station. How many of you guys have had a chance to check out the new blog yet? If you have not, check it out. The Refill Station, you'll find it on all of our social media, at least a link to it. But you'll find it on Medium, at 1 Million Cups, SGF. Find and follow 1 Million Cups. You've seen it on all social media with the hashtag 1MCSGF. Join the conversation. We generally have Twitter Fall running down the side. You will see that on a weekly basis. If you have an announcement and you want to put it in front of us just immediately, hashtag 1MCSGF and let it roll and everyone can see it. You want to present or you know somebody who should present, apply today, 1millioncups.com/Springfield. We are going to transition, so the next presentation is ready. In just a moment, we have Katie Dillon with Make Our Day is going to be presenting. But how many of you guys were here when Spark Events presented a couple of months ago at this point? Okay. College students. They grossed $500,000. As college students, they do wedding event venue. They do your event. They'll host it. They'll make it lively. all of you guys over here in the corner, Bryce and his team up in the crow's nest, we have Spark events all over the place. You guys, we couldn't do without you. You guys are tremendous, incredible. Thank you so much for all that you're doing. We are ready. Let's give Katie Dillon with Make Our Day hand.
Swadika. I'm Teacher Katie. I'm the founder of Make Our Day, which is an educational nonprofit based in Phuket, Thailand. Before I get started on my presentation, oh, it's not on? Oh, okay. Before I get started on my presentation, I wanted to give you a little warning about the content. Maybe.
It's my fault.
It is. Oh, point it this way, maybe? I guess I can sing to you guys. That's what we do, and with the kids. Okay, so if you're offended by the Thai language or broken English, it's too late to leave. So Jonathan, you can't leave. I started Make Our Day in 2014 when I had these kids that just had a desperate need for affection and attention, and it was a distraction in the classroom. So what we did is I started going to the kids after school on weekends or on these numerous Thai holidays that we had, and we would just play. We would sing, we would dance, we would play games, we'd chase each other around the beach in Olaf masks. And we just got to know each other, and I called this Playdates. And how we did this is by putting our founding principle of love first, love always as the basis for these Playdates. But why? Why would I move almost literally halfway around the world to start Make Our Day? Well, the short answer, and you can ask my family or any of my students to back me up on this, Teacher Ting Kong Mak. Teacher is just very crazy. And the medium answer is I had the job that I thought I wanted. I was a buyer for a chain of retail stores. I got to travel, I got to design products, I got a paycheck, but at some point I just could not stand the thought of working with stuff for 30 more years. And I don't know if any of you have ever sat in front of an Excel and felt like that, but it needed to make a change, and my first idea was Thailand. You might say that's impulsive. I'm gonna go with decisive. But most people just circle right back to crazy. So, quick timeline. In 2013, the crazy lady bought a one-way ticket to Thailand. No job, no knowledge of the language, minimal money. I took a TOEFL course and I started teaching at a high school in Phuket town. After a year at that job, I got offered a raise and a promotion to run my own English department. And me being the aforementioned crazy person that I am, took that as my cue to quit. There were just a lot of problems at that school, and I felt like the use of Western teachers was maybe the biggest problem. And I wanted to do something that was helpful, or at the very least that I didn't feel like was harmful to education. And that is when I met the Munchkins. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it was not love at first sight with these Munchkins. They had scared off 9 Western teachers before me, and after about a month, I was ready to make it 10. It was a 3-day weekend. I was gonna leave early, and I said, Munchkins, one suk sinuk mak teacher kapan. It's Friday, let's go home early. Wrong thing to say to this crowd, because one Munchkin just takes off for the door, locks me in the classroom, and 2 of his friends just start crying. Teacher, will you stay here? No. Teacher, will you come to my house? on, I'm speaking Thai. What's the language barrier here? I am going home. But they won, and I walked home with them to find out that their house was an orphanage. And when we got to the gates of the orphanage, those sad faces made another appearance, and they said, Teacher, ma prung ni, come back tomorrow. And I bet some of you can already guess what those master manipulators said when I did come back tomorrow. Teacher, ma tu kwan. Teacher, come every day. So I did. And for a year, we had play dates and birthday parties and Tuesday parties, Friday parties, Sunday parties, rainy day parties. Basically, if Ben's has anything to do with it, every day's a party. And they started to trust me, and I started to see them want to learn, which was really the catalyst for starting the next phase of my program, which was Make Our Day Tutoring. Make Our Day Tutoring was a big turning point for my organization because it forced me to get organized about long-term planning, and it was also a big personal decision because it meant that I'd be staying for several more years. And when you're making a decision like that, you have to take a really critical look at the why. Why was it that my kids were not getting an adequate education? And when you're doing that, it's very easy to point to physical things like resources and money, but at some point, that just isn't it. There's 900 kids in Kosi Ray School. 30 are in tutoring, and there is a reason that only 1/3 of 1% is going to access this program. And it's because, sadly, the community and arguably the entire country of Thailand doesn't value their education. And you can't force that. And the kids are going to have to want that for themselves. And unfortunately, the dark side of Munchkinland is that a lot of these kids come from abusive families or no families, or their parents treat school like a daycare, the teachers treat it like a juvenile detention center, and the kids drop out because they get bored, they get a job, or they pick up a drug habit and no one cares. Now, I say that no one cares, but I wouldn't have started Make Our Day Tutoring if I didn't believe that there were people ready to prove me wrong on that. Sipray. Sipray is a 26-year-old Thai teacher who I met when I was working in town, and she always tells me, Kati, it is my dream to work for you in Kosi Ray. So, okay, Sipray, well, I'm going to hold you to that. And she graduates with her master's in English in January of 2017. Minions. The Minions is the name that I have for my high school and college students that I teach in town. This is night and day from where I teach in Kosi Ray. Here, the parents expect college. They've given all their kids the opportunity to study abroad. And when the kids come back from studying abroad, they say, Teacher, why you no tell me Thai school so bad? I am embarrassed. And we have that conversation, and eventually they say, teacher, you can fix. And that's when I say, no, Minions, you can fix. And I took them to Munchkinland. One girl in particular, Bible, was really interested, and I asked her, I said, Bible, what did you learn in Munchkinland? She said, I learned that teacher is very brave, and that Bible want to be brave too. It has always been the biggest part of the plan with Make Our Day Tutoring to hand this program back to the community, into the hands of people like Sipray and people like Bible, educated Thai adults who are tired of seeing 7-year-olds drop out of school to work and they're mad enough to do something about it. And Make Our Day is going to help those people, and I believe that our founding value of love first, love always is the best way to do that. This is our budget for 1 month of running tutoring. It's $1,000 monthly for 30 kids, 2 part-time jobs, 1 full-time job for a teacher, and 1 classroom location. So that's $600 towards teaching salaries for 3 teachers, $150 towards supplies, and $150 of play money for our many, many party tukwan. Okay, questions?
All right, again, raise your hand. We'll bring you a mic. Something I heard loud and clear there was the why. I think as an entrepreneur, you are consistently revisiting that question. Why am I doing this? So that was a really powerful message that I took away from that, so thank you.
I didn't get any chance to tell my many Munchkin stories. There are 120 little whys.
What's your favorite Munchkin story?
Oh, I can't do that. My mom specifically told me not to talk about Mickey because he would scare everyone away. But there is a little Munchkin, Mickey, and he came to the orphanage when he was 2.5, and so he didn't talk yet. And because I'm really one of the only adults that interacts with him, he has no Thai accent. So the other kids, they run in, Kati sawadi ka, sabaidi mai ka. And Mickey goes, hey, Katie. But this is him. This is Mickey. He handed me his own tooth on my last day in Thailand this last time around. But no. Megan, my substitute, who's teaching while I'm here, I said, oh, he's my favorite. She's my favorite. She's so sick of it. She's like, everyone is your favorite. You have to stop saying that. You don't have a favorite. I said, oh, but he's really my favorite. And she's like, I don't know.
Good morning.
Good morning, Michael.
Hello. I'm literally sitting here crying. No lie. I have 2 questions for you. I'm probably going to forget one of them. So the first one is, how did you support yourself until this charity got going?
So I worked full-time in town tutoring. And then I had to quit my job because I had issues with immigration. They were coming to my work, kind of threatening me to not be working there without a work permit. So now my parents have supported me the last 2 months I was there and didn't have a job.
Okay, and my second question was, you said you got to design some stuff with your last job.
Yeah.
Did you design anything that you're wearing right now? It's a beautiful outfit.
No, I designed, thank you. I designed Hardline. So if anyone has ever been to Rally House, it's across from the mall. I designed like their glassware, their lanyards, any of our private label stuff. I designed that. Oh, I guess I don't get to pick who.
So you were a buyer for a retailer. How did you wind up, why Thailand? How did you wind up there, and what made you want to stay?
Teacher, very crazy. Well, what made me want to stay was all the Munchkins. I hadn't planned on really staying more than a year. But after I had been there for a year, my brother decided to come and teach. And so I committed to staying another year, and then, that day, whenever I walked them home, and they said, teacher, come back tomorrow, that was over 2 years ago.
Hi, I'm Melanie, and I've been to Thailand many times, and I love Thailand, so I understand your attraction there.
You can stay at my house. It's on Airbnb.
Where is it?
It's on Airbnb. It's in Cape Panama.
Oh, okay. Great. Well, thank you. And is your 501? Is it a 501c3 here
Correct.
in the U.S.? Okay.
Yeah.
So it would be a tax deduction if you donate to.
Yeah. So I filed for that in January of 2014 as incorporated in the state of Missouri.
Okay.
So yes.
Great. Thank you very much.
Morning, and thank you for being here. 3 things. One, it's very moving and touching. I agree with Michael. This is a very moving story. Thank you. The other thing would be a couple things. One, do you have any type of a website that we missed here?
Yes.
Did I miss that?
MakeOurDay.org.
Okay, very good. And have you thought about getting involved in a church group that might be able to help with support and/or people that are always taking mission trips? This would function kind of like a mission trip, I would think. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that are I don't really believe in short-term missions. I have not seen this as that, and the most important part of it for me is to give it back to the community. So bringing in a large group to do the work is actually counterproductive to me training the people there on how to do it themselves. I do take volunteers, like a college aged or early 20s because the play dates can always support Western volunteers. That's not a problem. For, you know, the fun part of it, for us to go play on the weekends, that's something that, you know, that can exist on its own with Western volunteers, and we have a lot of fun doing that. But as far as the structure of the program for the long term, I'm not interested in involving a Western group.
Hey, on your previous slide, on the frequently asked
Mickey?
questions, it says, do you plan to build a school?
No.
Can you elaborate on your answer there?
I do not plan to build a school. That actually wouldn't be something I could legally do as a Westerner in Thailand. I could, I could partner with an organization that was allowed to build a school there, but honestly, there's bigger problems than the physical resources of having a school. We have a school. It's awful, but it's there. And the problems that I've seen that are the biggest barriers to entry and kids staying in school, it's not because the school isn't there.
I've been to Cambodia, and when I was there, I learned a lot about the government and how it really hurt the people there. What challenges do you face with the Thai government in what you do?
Oh, stop right there. I did not plan to be back here today. I came back after about a month of being threatened by immigration. Morgan was there, trying to watch me hold it all together after spending 8 hours a day at immigration being threatened for a while. And, you know, I came back with a parasite to get a new passport, a new visa, and it's, you know, the government is unfortunately always going to be the biggest hurdle that I have to deal with. But it's not just towards Westerners, just like Cambodia. The government is completely debilitating to the native population as well.
And my second question is, what kind of visas does a foreigner need to be able to work there?
Okay, so you guys are good. If you want to go to the Westin and go to the beach and spend money in Thailand, you can get a free visa on arrival for 30 days. It's $40 to get 60 days if you get it before you leave the U.S. If you want to work there, that's when things get really money under the table, really shifty. There are plenty of rules on paper about what you need to work, but the law does not run that country at all. So technically there's like 90-day visa, 1-year visa. It's not necessarily true.
Good morning. So how do your munchkins become munchkins? Where are you getting the children that you're serving? Is it one specific location?
The Kosi Ray School is one specific location of 900 students at a government school. From there, there's an orphanage down the street this way, walking distance. There's 120 of those kids from the same school that live at that orphanage. This way, we have a Sea Gypsy village of Burmese immigrants that they live actually on the water so that immigration doesn't get them. And sometimes they come to school, sometimes they don't. There's a lot of problems with racism and things like that at that school. So that school is just really a hotbed of issues. And the kids who are really desperate for this attention and this learning, like I said, 1/3 of 1% of the school is who I'm giving access to this tutoring, and that's because they really want it, and they are coming to me and they're asking for it and they're begging for it. And Morgan wrote on my handouts about how kids are waiting patiently to get into tutoring, and I just started laughing. I said, Morgan, you were there. They're not waiting patiently. They're banging their head on the door. Teacher! Teacher! I come to class today. So how I'm picking the kids is I'm not having to pick them. They're coming to me and they're desperately wanting this.
So we had a not-for-profit present maybe a month ago, and they had talked about how it's a really competitive arena as far as being able to secure the funds that you need to keep the doors open. So I was kind of curious, how do you go about kind of marketing or spreading the word about what you're doing? How do you go about securing those funds needed?
Okay, well, in the first year, I funded the program 100% on donations just from friends and family. $25 to $100 was really all the funding that I needed per week to keep it going. And the budget here, if it'll play again, is $1,000 per month, and that's not unattainable. How I've planned on doing that right now is through a child sponsorship fund. So you can choose to sponsor a child, and that's what our handouts are about. You can choose to sponsor a child a reoccurring monthly donation of $30, $50, or $100, and that is 37% funded right now. So I'm hoping to get it funded through that, $1,000 a month through at least January of 2018, and that will allow us to hire 3 new teachers, guarantee the 30 spots in tutoring until that time, at which point I might need to seek other funding as government grants or corporate sponsorships or larger donations, but I really want to keep it like doing less with more, and only, it's good to, have money backed up, but I really want to focus on running it only on the money that we need and keeping that pretty small.
What are you teaching? What's being taught?
Love. Love, 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 hugs, 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 and some English.
Nothing in the way of math or science or?
No. Love, hugs, and English. When we add, that is part of the benefit of adding 3 teachers, is that we can expand what we're teaching, but as it stands right now, we're just not there yet.
I'm Greg. Truly applaud what you're doing, just taking care of the kids like that. Have you thought about getting like World Vision or an organization like that that has funds?
Actually, I have some good news about my organization. I don't know if anyone has heard of Pencils of Promise, but it's a nonprofit that they build schools in now nearly every country in the world. And the founder of that organization, his name is Adam Braun, and he wrote a #1 New York Times bestseller about how he started his organization. And he's now working on a 2nd book, and he had kind of like a contest type thing for people who are starting their own nonprofits, and it went from 1,000 to 100. And I was one of the 10 that got selected for him to be like a personal mentor to. So he actually called me earlier this week to give me like some encouragement for this presentation. And he is allowing me to use him as a resource for coaching and just figuring out like if I do need to get funding, or if I do need to build a school, or if I do need to deal with the government from someone who's been there, how can I do that? So that's good news for me.
Katie, thank you so much for taking your entrepreneurial spirit and really applying it towards something that I think you've impacted everybody in this room, and I'm sure you do on a daily basis with people you interact with, so thank you. We've kind of discussed a little bit, but what can we do as a community to help you and your organization?
Okay, so as a community, you can volunteer. Is this still on? Mostly targeting that at college students. I've had 11 interns from Missouri State now. You are eligible for college credit. I don't see any college students really here today. But yeah, so do an internship, come to Thailand for a long-term stay, or donate. If you would consider making a monthly gift of $30, $50, or $100, or if you are part of an organization who's looking to do something like create jobs, you could consider sponsoring a teacher. If it's a corporate sponsorship, you could consider sponsoring a classroom for a year. Those are really the 3 main ways that I'm looking for support from the Springfield community, is volunteers and donations.
Thank you so much. Wow, it's great to see everyone here today. Thank you so much for coming out to our 2nd day at the Springfield Art Museum. A big round of applause for these guys for opening up their facility to us. I don't know if you noticed, we had a few technical issues this morning, and we're always mindful of that. We always want to give you guys the best presentation, but I'm reminded that it's not about the technical. It's about the people who make this thing possible. Every single one of you people here today is what makes 1 million cups of value, not the whether the PowerPoint works flawlessly or not. So give yourselves a hand for being here, and make sure you introduce yourself and come out to the community room. as we finish today. We are celebrating 4-year anniversary for 1 Million Cups. Lastly, we will have the presenters meet in this hallway just outside to do a final exit interview with them. You'll see those videos up at the end of every week that Spark has been gracious enough to produce for us. After about 5 minutes, they'll be joining us in the community room, so help yourself to another cup of coffee and meet the presenters. Thanks, guys. Have a great week. Brad, thanks so much for presenting today. You know, one of my big passions whenever I talk to an entrepreneur like yourself is I want to know what drives them, what their passion is, why they do what they do. Why real estate?
Real estate gives me the freedom to be able to live life the way I want to live life and achieve the income that I want to achieve. And it's just a passion of mine. It always has been. It's one of the only things that will let you earn massive amounts of income with doing as little effort as possible once you learn the business, which is one of my favorite things to do. Yes.
Well, and we always ask all our presenters, what can we as a community do to help you?
For the Real Estate Investor Group, come to one of our meetings. Look us up online. The website is reinvestorgroup.com. Come and find us. Yes, right there. Come and find us. Learn about us. Tell a friend about us, because we want to help people succeed in business in Springfield.
Great. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you very much.
Katie, thanks so much for working with us this morning at 1 Million Cups and presenting. That was a wonderful deal. We got to see a lot of your heart for the Munchkins in Thailand. Obviously, you've got a lot of projects going on. What are you working on right now that's really taking up most of your time?
Right now, my main goals is funding my tutoring program through 2013-18, hiring 3 new teachers, and securing volunteers to make the program run smoothly until that time. So the way I'm choosing to do that is a child sponsorship campaign. You can sponsor a Munchkin for $30, $50, or $100 a month. If you're a business or want to make a larger contribution, you can support a teacher or an entire classroom.
So other than funding, what can we as a community do to help you?
Well, just get out there and do something crazy. I'm always looking for volunteers. I'm always happy to talk with people who have thought about doing something like this before, but they're scared or they don't know where to start. I'm good to bounce ideas off of. So, yeah, just follow your dreams today, I guess.
Great. Thank you so much.